Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. My name is John Henderson, and welcome to this series of old-time radio shows I'm calling Gee Whiz. These are stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers. Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. This week we have all three, and it's a Halloween episode. There are many Halloween traditions that they had even back in the 40s and 50s. Children would dress up in generic costumes, like a clown or a kitty cat, maybe a pirate or a princess, even a hobo or a gypsy. Halloween activities included carving pumpkins and bobbing for apples or making candy. But that's kid stuff. Teenagers were more likely to have parties with friends or pull pranks and make trouble around the neighborhood. That's definitely true for Henry Aldrich. Listen to this episode from October 31st, 1940.
The Aldrich Family, written by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone.
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, scarcely a day passes that doesn't bring us a letter from some housewife praising Jell-O butterscotch pudding. Many of these letters read somewhat as follows. I've tried just about every ready-prepared pudding on the market, and Jell-O butterscotch pudding is the one for me. Other letters, of course, speak of how easy Jell-O butterscotch pudding is to make, because you simply add milk, cook for a few minutes, and cool. And still other letters tell us how grateful housewives are for the many ways you can serve Jell-O butterscotch pudding. But the big point is its flavor, the warm, buttery brown sugar flavor of creamy golden butterscotch. Just the way you like it, full of rich homemade goodness. Yes, friends, you like Jell-O butterscotch pudding a lot, so just try it. And let your own taste tell you why Jell-O butterscotch pudding is the pudding that thousands call the best of all. If your doorbell rings tonight and you answer it and find no one there, you remember that this is Halloween and that you, too, were a youngster yourself. And you might suspect Henry Aldrich of having something to do with the prank because he's a real boy from your own neighborhood. Tonight we find Henry in the Aldrich living room with his friend Toby.
Gee whiz, am I bored.
Same here, Henry.
How could a thing like this happen, Toby? It's Halloween and the two of us are dead broke.
Gee, I thought I'd never live to see a thing like this happen.
Wouldn't you think, Toby, that there'd be at least one thing a person could do on Halloween without it's costing money?
That's what you'd think. How about going over and getting even with Mr. Tarbell for what he did a year ago?
How?
Well, we could think of something. I'll tell you what. If we could get his front steps loose from the porch, we could hide them.
No, Toby.
But, Henry, then when he comes out and starts to go down the steps, he'll wonder where they are.
Who will wonder where what is?
Oh, is that you, Father?
You are not going to touch anyone's front steps.
How did you know about that?
I'm psychic. Halloween or no Halloween, you boys are not to touch any private property.
Henry, are you in the living room?
Yes, Mother. Gee whiz, Father. Toby and I don't want to just sit around and look at each other all evening.
How would you like to have me make some candy?
Mother, candy. Everybody else is out doing things, and we sit home and make candy.
Well, if you'd planned ahead, you'd have enough money to go to a dance.
I did plan ahead. I told you several weeks ago that my allowance isn't adequate.
Yes.
Henry, what do you say we get our hats and go out for a little stroll?
All right.
You aren't going to play any practical jokes on anyone, are you?
Oh, no, Mr. Aldrich. We're just going out for the fresh air.
And maybe ring one or two doorbells.
Henry, you're not going to ring any doorbells.
But, Mother, what harm can come from innocently ringing just one doorbell? That's rung 50 million times in the year anyway.
Because most people don't like it.
Henry, the minute you begin to trespass, you're liable to run into trouble.
Father, name one thing that could happen from sticking a pin into a doorbell. Aside from the fact that it's going to ring for a while.
I'm not going to argue.
Toby, I don't think I'll go out.
No?
All year. Ever since way back, I've been looking forward to tonight. And now it's here, and I can't even stick a pin in a doorbell.
Sam, if Henry didn't actually stick a pin in it, couldn't he ring just one bell?
It's entirely up to you, Alice.
All we do is ring it and run, Father.
Don't look at me, son. I'm only your father.
I don't see what fun there could be in it.
At least my whole year wouldn't be ruined.
Well, could you ring a bell where no one is home?
Mother.
All right, if it'll make you any happier, go out and ring one bell.
We can, Father? We can? Toby, come on.
Okay.
I don't see what fun you'll get from it.
At least we can say we've done it.
Henry, I've got an idea.
What?
My folks didn't say I couldn't ring more than one. I'll tell you. I'll do the ringing and you do the running.
Okay, let's ring Mr. Edwards' bell first.
John Edwards, are you out there on the porch without any hat on?
I am. I was just out to look at the car. Someone has taken the battery out of it.
Who do you suppose could have done a thing like that?
Oh, some Halloween hoodlum. I tell you, Phoebe, this town has reached a nice state of affairs.
Well, come in and close the door before you catch pneumonia.
Do you know what I think I'll do? I'll just wait inside the door and see whether anyone comes back. I'll get my cane, too. The next boy that comes up on this porch is going to get the tanning of his life.
Yes, dear.
Toby.
What?
He's going in. Come on up on the porch.
What were they talking about, Henry?
Search me.
Let's write a note and pin it to the door.
Okay, got a pencil?
No, here's my fountain pen.
Listen, Toby, let's just ring the bell and run.
Let me ring it.
No, Toby, this is the only one I can ring.
You can ring the next one.
No, besides, Mr. Edwards was my idea. Here we go, Toby. I'm going to ring it.
Do you hear anyone coming?
No, I better ring it again.
Well, Phoebe!
Somebody's coming. Run, Toby, run.
I am.
Stop there! Stop!
Quick, Toby, duck around the side of the house here.
I'm with you, Henry.
Stop! You hear me?
Stop nothing. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What was that?
I'm all right. I just knocked over an ash can. Come on.
Duck back here through this grave robber.
There goes Mr. Edwards over it. Toby.
That'll help.
If I catch you, I'll time you both.
Come on out through these trees, Toby.
If he catches you, Henry, don't give your right name.
Whose name should I give?
Take one up. What was that?
That was Mrs. Edwards. Look, Toby, here's a hole or something we can hide in.
Yeah, where?
Right here in the ground. Oh, gee whiz, wait, Toby.
What's the matter?
It's an old well.
Well, this is a nice time to tell me.
What's the matter?
I dropped my fountain pen in it.
Shh, Toby, he's coming.
Toward us?
He went right on.
Boy, that was close.
Let's beat it, Toby, and get out of here.
But, Henry, I dropped my fountain pen.
That's so important.
My mother just bought it for me. Gee whiz, I can't go home without my fountain pen, Henry.
How are we going to get it? It's way down at the bottom of the well.
Well, there's an old chain here. It's hanging right straight down.
Is it fastened here at the top?
Sure, right to this piece of iron. Wait a second, I'll roll up my trousers.
You better take them off, Toby, then you won't get them wet.
Sure, and hold my coat, too.
John?
Yes, what is it?
Did you find them?
No, not yet.
Toby.
Did you look in the shed out beyond the well?
I'm just coming from there.
Well, come back in the house then.
All I can say is they must have disappeared right into the ground.
It's okay, Toby. You can go down now.
Look out while I go over the edge.
Are you sure you can get up again?
Why not? All I have to do is hang on to this chain and climb right up the side. So long, Henry.
Hang on. Hang on tight, old boy.
Gee whiz.
What's the matter? Toby, what's the matter?
There's something tied partway down on the chain.
What is it?
It's an automobile battery.
A battery? What's it doing down there?
How should I know? And the chain ends right here.
It does? Can you jump the rest of the way?
What do you mean, jump? It's so dark down here I wouldn't know when I got to the bottom.
Oh, here's the trouble. It's up here. Some of the slack is hooked onto a bolt. I'll see whether I can loosen it.
Let it out easy, Henry.
Don't worry, Toby. You don't think I'd let you fall, do you? Toby. Oh, Toby. Toby, where are you?
I thought you were my friend.
I couldn't help it. Toby, can you float?
How can you float in 4 inches of water?
Won't you get your pen and come on up?
You're crazy. There's nothing to take a hold of.
Stand on the battery and reach.
I can't.
Well, gee, Toby, I'll have to get you out somehow. I wonder whether I can find a ladder anyplace.
Ask Mr. Edwards whether he has one.
Sure. Do you think I'm crazy, Toby?
Well, hurry up and get a ladder someplace.
Look, there's the lid to the well up here.
Well, what about it?
Do you want me to put it over the top so you won't get cold?
No, just get me a ladder.
What? Do you want your pants and coat?
Just throw down my coat.
Okay, here it comes. I'll get the ladder that's in our garage, Toby. And if anybody speaks to you, don't answer.
Sam, has Henry come in yet?
Not yet.
It seems as though it's taking him an awfully long time to ring one doorbell.
Do you realize, Alice, this is the first Halloween no one has bothered us?
Certainly do. Did you put all the ash cans in?
I put them in the basement.
What was that?
Something out and back.
Sam, it sounds like one of the garage doors.
You suppose anyone's getting in there?
Listen, dear.
Come with me.
Where?
Let's go out to the kitchen and look through the window.
Is the kitchen light on?
No. No one can see us.
Sam, someone is in the garage.
Stand back from the window.
Can you see them?
Alice, someone is coming out of the garage with our big ladder.
Sam Aldrich, I think that's the limit.
I'm going down the cellar stairs here and slip out to the basement door.
Well, why not go out the back door?
This way I can head him off in the driveway.
Shall I turn the light on?
No, don't turn the light on. I can see quite all right.
Sam, what have you done?
I forgot I put the ash cans down here.
Well, my goodness, dear, are the ashes all over my cellar floor?
Yes, and so am I. Turn on the light.
Sam, you better come back up here and get your hat and coat.
You want whoever it is to get away?
Is that ladder more important than your health? Now come back up here.
But, Alice, he's already gone out toward the street.
In a town this size, Sam, you can certainly track down someone with a ladder.
You say the battery was taken right out of your car, Mr. Edwards?
Yes, officer.
But you didn't see anyone.
Not until a few minutes later. 2 boys come up on the porch and rang the bell, and I chased them right around here through the grape arbor.
Were they carrying the battery?
Well, I couldn't say.
Well, whoever stole it is going to be apprehended and punished. The young fellows here have got to respect private property.
Oh, they don't stop at anything. I even found a pair of somebody's trousers back here. You better take them down to headquarters. Why? Hey, 1 minute.
What's up?
Stand back there under this tree. Do you see out there toward the street?
Somebody coming?
Somebody with a ladder. He's coming right this way.
All right, no. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. When he passes, I'll nab him. Just a minute there, young man.
Oh, gee whiz, who said that?
1 minute, I said.
Yes, sir. So was there something you wanted?
Where did you get that ladder?
At home.
I asked you, where did you get it?
I brought it from home. Sure, I did. I give you my word, I did.
Oh, so we're going to have trouble with you. Where's the battery?
The battery? What battery?
The battery that disappeared from my car.
I haven't even seen any battery.
What's your name?
Why,
What is it?
it's, Harry.
Harry what?
Harry Ambrose.
Where are you taking that ladder?
Well, not any place in particular. I just happened to be carrying it with me.
Just giving it an airing, eh? Taking it out for a walk.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Edwards, what do you think we ought to do with him?
It's, 90 days for larceny, isn't it, officer?
90 days in jail for taking my own father's ladder?
That's what it is.
But I've got a friend, see, and
I see, and he has the battery.
No, sir, he's in a terrible predicament.
Where is he?
Where is he? I don't know. I'm looking for him.
Oh, you're just going around with a ladder looking for a friend.
Oh, I know that seems hard to believe, officer, but that's what I'm doing.
Well, suppose you leave that ladder here.
But I'll get the deuce if I don't take it back home.
And you'll get 90 days, Harry Ambrose, if you don't put it down.
Yes, sir.
Now get home with you. Should have been in bed an hour ago.
Yes, sir, only I don't know what my friend will do without me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this being Halloween, I'd like to tell you a ghost story. The story of Edgar the Gloomy Ghost. Edgar, it seems, was very fond of nice desserts at dinner. But his wife, Phyllis the Phantom, kept serving him just ordinary desserts. As a result, Edgar went around moaning and groaning like this. Ooh, ooh. Then one day, Edgar's wife bought some Jell-O vanilla pudding at the grocery store. And now Edgar is just as cheerful as can be. No longer does he go around moaning. Now he has a warm, likable laugh like this. So, you see, just in case Edgar might drop in, ladies and gentlemen, always keep Jell-O vanilla pudding on hand. It's brimful of tempting flavor, as smooth as rich cream, and extra good when garnished with nuts, marshmallows, or fruit. My own favorite is Jell-O vanilla pudding with sliced bananas. But served any way at all, it's grand. Order this delightful, ready-prepared dessert and start right away to enjoy the luscious flavor of Jell-O vanilla pudding. Now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. It being Halloween, Henry and his friend Toby set out to ring just one doorbell and come home. However, one thing leads to another until Toby was left stranded at the bottom of a well, and Henry is attempting to rescue it.
Good evening. Oh, is that you out there, Henry Aldrich?
Good evening, Mrs. Lockridge. Could I borrow a real strong rope from you?
A real strong what, dear?
A rope. I need about 15 feet of very strong rope.
Oh, would a piece of clothesline help any?
No, ma'am. I have a friend that's in a well.
Well, that's quite a Halloween joke, isn't it?
No, ma'am. I'm trying to get my friend out.
Well, how did he get in it?
He was looking for his fountain pen.
Well, why don't you try one of the other houses in the neighborhood?
I have, but every doorbell I've rung so far, the people chased me.
You don't say so.
Yes, ma'am. That's how I got all wet like this.
Goodness gracious, how did you get that wet?
They poured a bucket of water on me from the second floor window.
Well, come to think of it, Henry, we have a good long tow rope out in the car.
You have?
Yes, sir. You'll find the car right out there in front.
Right down the curb a ways?
That's right.
Okay.
If I remember, the rope's a little bit straight in the middle.
That's all right. It can certainly hold Toby. Will I find it in the front or the rear of the car?
You'll have to look, dear.
Guess this is the car. My gosh. That's funny.
All right, young fellow. What are you trying to get away with?
What's that?
Did you think I didn't see you?
She was let go of my collar.
What were you doing in my car?
I've got a friend that's in a well.
Yeah?
But you see, Mrs. Lockbridge gave me permission to open this car.
Mrs. Lockbridge did.
It's her husband.
Well, it just happens to be my car, and I live right here in this house.
You do? You mean this other car here is Lockbridge's?
And I suppose you're going to tell me Mrs. Lockbridge gave you permission to let all the air out of my tires?
Are they flat?
What do you think I was watching out the window for?
Well, you certainly have my sympathy.
Here you are.
What's that?
It's a pump. Get to work.
But gee whiz, I give you my word, all I was looking for was a piece of rope so I could pull my friend out.
Maybe you'd like to have me turn you over to the police, my boy.
Oh, no.
Are you going to hook that pump onto the valve?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Why, which tire do you want me to pump up first?
I asked you your name.
It's a Harry Ambrose.
Harry Ambrose, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, your family ought to be ashamed of you.
Yes, sir, they certainly ought to be.
I'm going in and keep an eye on you from the house. And don't forget, there's a street lamp right here, and I can see every move you make.
Yes, sir.
If I hadn't been a boy once myself, I'd turn you over to the law.
Yes, sir. Oh, gee whiz. Well, I'll be darned.
Henry, is that you pumping up those tires?
Father, where did you come from?
I'm looking for our ladder. And may I first ask what you're doing?
Father, I wish you'd go in and tell the man that owns this car that he has no right making me do this.
How did he happen to ask you to?
I was opening his car, see?
Son, didn't you promise to ring just one doorbell?
That's all I did
Then
do.
let's not have any excuses. Pump those tires up and take your punishment.
Where are you going?
To find a family by the name of Ambrose.
Of Ambrose? Ambrose?
I tracked a boy by that name as far as Mr. Edwards' house. You don't happen to know him, do you?
Harry Ambrose?
Do you know him?
Well, I think I've heard of him. But he's no friend of mine, Father.
Well, hurry up and finish those tires, and then get on.
But listen, Father.
hide behind your car.
Who's that?
Is that you, Henry?
Is that you, Homer?
Here, Henry, hold it.
What is it?
It's a red lantern.
What am I to do with it?
Just hold it, Henry. I'm in a hurry.
But I don't want this, Homer.
Oh, so there you are.
Who?
You with the lantern. Come along with me, my boy.
You wait until I get even with you, Homer.
You got away from him, didn't you, Henry?
I got away from him, but look at what he did to my coat. How am I going to get this sleeve back on?
Aren't I going to help you get Toby out of the well?
Yes.
And didn't I get this rope for you?
Where did you get it?
Isn't it a beauty, Henry? I found it over here on Walnut Street.
What I mean, Homer, is whose was it?
Nobody's. It was just roping off a new sidewalk that had been laid this afternoon.
Listen, Homer, I'm not going to use it.
Well, we aren't going to keep it, Henry. It's just to get Toby out.
But, Homer, I don't think we should use it.
All right, then. All right.
Not so loud, Homer.
Do you see somebody?
We're right here by Mr. Edwards' house.
Oh.
Come on now, Homer, and follow me back to the well.
Why don't you want to disturb Mr. Edwards, Henry?
Well, if he's going to sleep, there's no sense in waking him up, is there? Come on back through this grape arbor.
I'm coming. Where is the well?
It's right ahead here. Someplace.
Can't you find it?
That's strange. Gee whiz, don't fall in window. Oh, here it is. Hey, Toby. Toby, are you all right?
Toby.
Who is that?
It's Henry and Homer.
Well, you're the only ones that haven't been here before.
Who else has been here?
Everybody. And they all threw something down. The last time it was a bushel of apples.
Are you all right, Toby?
How could I be? Get me out of here.
We're letting a rope down now, Toby.
Here, Henry, I'll help you.
Is it down yet, Toby?
No.
It's coming. Homer, have you got the end?
What end, Henry?
Of the rope.
The end's down here.
Which end?
Both ends.
Well, gee whiz, Homer, if you aren't a help.
Toby, throw one end up here.
How am I going to do that?
Just throw it right straight up.
Here it comes.
Where is it?
Around my neck.
Henry, I've got an idea. Look out.
What are you going to do?
How about dropping this rock down and letting him tie the rope to it?
And then throw it up?
Now listen. Don't throw anything more down here. There isn't any more room.
Henry, do you think you could hold my hand while I go down part way?
How would you get the rope?
Well, Toby could tie it to my foot.
Sure, and then I'll pull you back up.
Well, take it easy now. Wait till I get over the edge.
Okay, have you got a good hold?
Yeah.
What's that coming down?
Don't worry, it's Homer.
Don't jump, Homer.
What do you think I am? Are you sure you got a hold of me, Henry?
Sure.
Easy now, easy.
I only had something to hang on to.
This is a nice time to think of that.
Don't worry, Homer, I've got you.
Boy, my arm's coming right out.
How much lower is it?
Wait a second and I'll tie the rope on Homer's foot.
You got it?
Come on, officer. I think they're off this way.
I'm coming.
Oh, gee whiz.
What's that?
Keep quiet. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Gee, if they had come 2 feet closer, they would have fallen right in with us.
That would have been good.
Well, we got you out, Toby, even if we did have a hard time finding my father's ladder.
And Toby, we got you away from Mr. Edwards' house.
But I still haven't got any pants, Henry.
Well, just walk along as though you were coming home from a party.
Boy, is this heavy.
Is what heavy? Listen, Toby, what are you carrying?
This battery.
Well, gee whiz, Toby, what'd you bring that for?
I didn't even know I had it.
Well, we've got to take that right back to Mr. Edwards.
All the way?
Sure. What do you think we hauled it out for? We get caught with it, we'll get 6 months in jail.
Here, Homer, how would you like to carry it?
I don't want it. Let Henry carry it.
Toby, don't try to shirk responsibility.
Well, you fellas have got to go back with me. I'm not going alone.
Come on. Who's that coming?
Where?
Down there on the corner. He's coming right towards us. Isn't that a policeman?
I think it is, Henry. Let's turn around and go the other way.
That's what I say.
No, we'll walk right along as though we were heading for a garage.
Sure.
Oh, sure. Now, our battery ran down and we're going to get it recharged.
But I still haven't got any pants.
Listen, fellas, look ahead there.
Where?
There's another policeman, and he's walking right toward us.
So long, Toby.
Now, wait, Henry. You can't leave me flat like this. I've got to get rid of this battery.
Well, put it down someplace.
Sure, and supposing he sees me.
I've got an idea. You see that car parked there by the curb?
Yeah?
We'll put it inside. Just dump it through the window.
Henry, you've got a head on you.
Come on now. We'll hide between these 2 houses. Boy, if they see us.
Okay.
Wait for me.
Well, hurry up.
Quiet. The police are going by.
Do you think they saw us?
No, they're not even looking this way.
Say, fellas, do you know what I just happened to think?
What?
I left my fountain pen down in the well.
Say, gee whiz,
What's the matter?
that car we put the battery in.
What about it?
Somebody just drove off in it.
Is that you, Henry?
Yes, Mother.
Will you please tell me where you've been all evening?
Just out with Toby, fooling around.
Well, come into the living room.
I've got to make a phone call first, Mother.
Hello, operator.
Then I'll be right there.
Operator, could you get me... It's right here in the book. It's Elm 36.
Henry?
Mother, Father isn't in yet, is he?
No, he isn't.
Oh, hello? Hello, is this Mr. Edwards? Well, Mr. Edwards, this is to inform you that if you will notify the police to look for a car number T765, I think. Or maybe it was T5 something. Anyhow, in it you'll find your battery. What's that? This is just a friend, Mr. Edwards, who happened to be passing by your house a little while ago.
Henry!
Goodbye.
Henry!
I'm coming, Mother.
Oh, where's your coat, dear?
I just hung it up in the closet.
Well, did you ring your doorbell?
Yes, Mother, I rang it.
Did you find it worthwhile?
Well, to be honest, I think I'm getting a little too old to be doing things like that. Where's my Latin?
Oh, Alice, is Henry in?
Yes, Sam, he's sitting here studying. Where have you been?
I found the ladder, but not the boy.
Sam, what on earth you have all over your shoes?
That is cement. They laid a new sidewalk over town and didn't even bother to rope it off.
Well, don't get it all over the carpet.
And what do you think I found a few minutes ago?
What?
A battery in the back seat of my car.
A battery, Father?
Tomorrow morning, Henry, you call up the police and find out who lost it.
All right, Father.
And then after you've done that, you can go over to Mr. Edwards and get our ladder.
Yes, Father. I wonder why people think Halloween is a time for fun.
Henry Aldrich will be back in just a moment. And when you make out the grocery list for tomorrow, friends, be sure to include several packages of Jell-O puddings. They're easy to make, inexpensive, and really delicious. Ask your grocer for all three flavors: Jell-O chocolate pudding, Jell-O vanilla pudding, and Jell-O butterscotch pudding. Jell-O puddings are made by the makers of Jell-O, so you know they're good.
Good night, folks. Be seeing you next week, I hope.
Now listen in again next Thursday evening to the Aldrich family and to the Maxwell House Coffee Time program, which immediately precedes it on most of these stations. A solid hour of sparkling radio entertainment every Thursday night. The Aldrich Family, starring Ezra Stone, is written by Clifford Goldsmith. Original music is composed and conducted by Jack Miller. Now, this is Harry Von Zell bidding you all good night.
That was an episode of The Aldrich Family from 1940. Now an episode of The Hardy Family. Mickey Rooney had starred as Andy Hardy for years and years in a number of movies, including Judge Hardy's Children from 1938.
Hey, look, Dad. Were you the same way as I am when you were young?
Hmm?
Oh, gee, I want to kiss all the pretty girls. Do you think I'm normal?
This episode of the radio show is not strictly a Halloween episode, but it does center around a costume party. So put on your mask and enjoy The Hardy Family from December 13th, 1949.
The Hardy Family. Proud to present The Hardy Family, based on the famous Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer motion picture series, which brought delight to millions and reflected the common joys and tribulations of the average American family. And now, here are the same great stars in the parts they created on the screen: Louis Stone, Mickey Rooney, and Fay Holden, The Hardy Family. disguise at a masquerade ball is usually the key to his honest opinion of himself. So, naturally, how would Andy Hardy go to a masquerade?
Naturally, Mom, I'm going to the masquerade as the greatest lover in history.
Yeah, but for goodness sake, dear, what are you doing in your father's red flannel underwear?
I'm just trying it on. I plan to wear it to the masquerade Friday night.
You do? Oh, that's a wonderful disguise, dear. Everybody else think it's your father.
Mom, look, please. There'll be more to my costume than this. I'm going as Cyrano de Bergerac. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm home, Emily.
Oh, Mom.
Anybody here?
Mom, Dad just came in the front door.
What?
Dad's home, Dad.
Oh, well, then I better go right out and see if the pot roast is done.
Emily, where are you? Emily.
Mom, how can you think of pot roast when you hear the heart-rending call like that?
Heart-rending?
Certainly. Dad's home from a long, hard day in court. He's waiting to rush into your open arms.
Emily!
Listen to that. The call of the hungry heart.
Andy, now listen. I know your father, and that's the call of a hungry stomach. I'll go right out and look at the pot first. Tell him it'll be ready in just a minute.
All right, I will.
Oh, good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Dad.
Have you seen, Good heavens.
What's the matter?
Don't tell me that's another new sport outfit you bought.
Dad, it's just a pair of your old red flannels, that's all.
Oh, I thought it looked too conservative for you.
It's part of my costume for the masquerade Friday night.
Gosh, what in the world are you going as? A small bottle of ketchup?
Certainly not. I happen to be going as the one and only Cyrano de Bergerac.
Ah, I see. By the way, is your mother around?
Mother, I hate to say this, Dad, but Mom's out in the kitchen.
You hate to say it. I think it's wonderful.
Wonderful. Dad, when you dashed through that front door just now, what did you expect to find?
The inside of the hallway.
No, seriously. I mean it seriously.
Well, I hope to find your mother.
Exactly, and tell me why.
I want to ask her if we're going to have pot roast for dinner.
Oh, my gosh, Dad. Where's that old tender feeling you once had for Mom? Those little whispered nothings in her ear.
Oh, now, look here. I may not go around whispering in your mother's ear, but I love her just as much as always.
But you take her too much for granted now. When you come home at night, what do you think of first? Your stomach.
James, pot roast is almost ready.
Emily, my love. What do I care for food? Come here, woman. Let me take you in my arms.
Oh, James, for goodness sake.
Let me crush you in my arms and whisper some sweet nothings in your ears.
Oh, James, that's so silly. If you're going to whisper nothing, it's all right for Andy to hear it.
You must admit I tried.
Mom, wait a minute, Dad. Mom, look, can't you see? Dad here is all puckered up.
Why, Andy, your father hasn't got a wrinkle in his face.
Mom, it's smooch time. Smooch. Go on and smooch with Dad. Live it up a little.
There. Now, I'll start getting dinner ready.
Dad, this is tragic.
Oh, now, son. When two people have been in love as long as your mother and I, it's not necessary to constantly demonstrate affection. After a few years, you only have to look into each other's eyes to get that wonderful, warm feeling.
Well, it's not like that with Polly and me.
No? Why not?
On a cold winter night, parked in my hot rod out by Miller's Oak, we'd sure have a terrible time keeping each other warm with our eyes.
I had a wonderful time tonight, Andy.
Yeah, it was swell, Paul.
Andy?
Yes, honey.
Won't you tell me what costume you're going to wear to the masquerade?
No, I will not, Polly. That's the fun of the whole thing. I'll have to guess who you are, and naturally you'll have to guess who I am. That's the fun of it, see?
Well, can't you just tell me one thing you'll be wearing?
That's not fair, darling. Then you'll know me.
Uh-huh. Oh, please, just tell me one thing to look for.
Okay, just one.
Oh, you're sweet.
Look for Dad's nightshirt.
Andy Hardy, you're mean.
And what?
Well, anyhow, Thanks for taking me to the movie
Oh,
tonight.
it's all right, pal. But I still say you should have let me pay my way at least.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Andy. You've taken me a lot of times and you were broke tonight. So...
I know, but you paid for half the gasoline, too.
Well, it was nothing.
And I
1 gallon.
I appreciate it, believe me, anyhow. And thanks for the hamburger. It was good.
Don't even mention it.
Oh, what a dream you are. By the by, my dear, how much do I now owe you?
You mean for this month or last month?
All told.
Oh, don't worry about it. Well, good night, Andy.
Good night, Polly. I'll see you tomorrow, darling. Night. Oh, my gosh. Holy cats, this is awful. When we said good night, we just shook hands. Dad, listen, it was terrible, absolutely terrible. We just stood there like brother and sister, and we just shook hands.
Well, son, I'm sure Polly will overlook your failure to kiss her tonight.
I'm not worried because I didn't kiss Polly.
You're not?
I'm worried because she didn't kiss me.
Oh.
Something's gone wrong. I got to do something before it's too late, too.
Well, you can stop by and kiss her on your way to work in the morning.
No, Dad, no. Now, somehow I've slipped. Must be getting old. Awful old.
Well, good heavens, go put on your shawl and we'll wheel you over so you can kiss her now.
No, Dad, I tell you, it's gone. Vanished. The old appeal. Suppose something happens to Polly and me. Or suppose we just go... I have to find a new girl. And there I am. Not able to deliver the stuff anymore.
Don't you worry. If things are that bad, your father will get his car out and he'll help you deliver the stuff.
Dead and no longer irresistible.
Oh, no. Maybe you haven't lost anything. Maybe this is just your off-season.
Yeah, off-season. Yeah, that might be. Maybe I've still got it, but Polly doesn't bring it out because she hasn't got it enough for me to give it out anymore.
Oh, well, dear. It'll probably all come back when the weather gets better.
No, I tell you, Mom, I've got to find out right now.
Why? Why all the urgency?
Dad, if Polly's lost her appeal,
Yeah.
we might as well be married. Hi, Andy. All set for the masquerade tomorrow night? Hi, Bees, old boy. Yeah, I've got my costume all worked out, too. Oh, you probably won't recognize me, so I'll tell you what I'm going as. Yeah? What? Romeo. Easy, if you're Romeo, I'm Juliet. Oh, gosh, I'd like you to be Andy, but I'm taking Hilda. No, look, I mean, what makes you think that you can be Romeo? My girl, Hilda. Yeah? She thinks I'm a cross between Romeo and Casanova. Something's crossed, and I think it's her wife. Look, old pal, let me give you a little advice, see, kid? Don't let Hilda get her hooks in you, see? Just go ahead and play the field. Play the field. Play the field? Yeah. But I like Hilda. So she appeals to you, so what? So you start dating her steady, see, like? Next thing you know, poof. The old appeal is gone. Oh, gosh. People don't lose their appeal until they're awful old. Now, listen, son. It can happen in the blush of youth. Just like it did with me and Polly. You mean Polly Benedict doesn't appeal to you anymore? I'm afraid not. Sad, but she no longer brings out the beast in me. Oh, gosh, Andy, she hasn't lost her appeal. Why, just this morning, Joe Walker said she made him do flip-flops every time she passed. Yeah? And 4 other fellas agreed with him. Well, Beezy, listen, you don't have to... Gosh, listen, Andy, if she wasn't your girl, well, I think I'd leave Hilda for her myself. Beezy, will you please? Don't... No, sir, you don't have to worry about Polly. She just has to flap her eyes once and she can get any fellow in this town. Shut up, will you, Beezy? Well, I sure hope I made you feel better about Polly. Yes, you sure did. Thanks a lot. You glad to know she hasn't really lost her appeal? Yeah, yes, I am. But do me a favor, will you? Well, sure, what? Will you help me look for mine? Dad, listen, it came to me in a flash. I know how to find out if I still got the old irresistible technique.
Well, let's hear about this proposed scientific experiment.
Well, I'm going to the masquerade as Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yes.
Nobody will recognize me. It's my chance to circulate, see? And see if I can still knock the chicks for a loop.
I don't believe I quite understand this business about loop chicken.
Now, well, look, I'll explain. With all the girls in costume, I can draw a bead on one here, sharpshoot another one there, romance this one and that one. See?
Sounds more lethal than the hydrogen bomb.
Well, Dad, don't you see? It'll test my old appeal. I've just got to find out if I can still deliver.
But how can you exert your devastating appeal through a mask and a costume composed mainly of my old red flannels?
Dad, listen to me. If you've got it, like I used to have it, a suit of armor couldn't hold it back.
Well, when it comes time to unmask, won't Polly Benedict be a little annoyed to discover you're the one who's been charming the other ladies all evening?
I've got that all figured out, too, Dad. Just before time to unmask, see?
Yeah.
I sneak out of my car, put on a different costume, sneak back in, and nobody knows what happened to the great Cyrano.
Oh, I see. And suppose you find out at the masquerade that you haven't got this great appeal anymore.
And, Dad, you'll never see my face around this town again.
What?
I'll never take my mask off.
First, a word from your announcer. And now, back to the Hardy Family, starring Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Fay Holden. Cyrano de Bergerac had an extremely long nose. But if Andy Hardy goes through with his plan to romance all the ladies at the masquerade, his Cyrano may wind up with a very flat nose.
James, where are you?
You! Reach for the ceiling, you bomber.
James, I just want to... Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought my husband was in here.
That's all right. Come on in. It's only me. Me.
But, James, what on earth are you dressed up for?
That's all right. It's my Western costume for the masquerade tonight, partner. You told me get ready.
Oh, that's very cute, dear. Well, I wanted to ask your advice about my costume.
Now, Emily, my dear, I told you before, I think you'll make a very beautiful Statue of Liberty.
But do you think I should carry an electric torch?
Electric? Well, where would you get the electricity?
Well, dear, I thought if you wouldn't mind carrying a few batteries.
So you can attach yourself to me?
Mm-hmm.
Emily, every time I dance with somebody else, I'd short-circuit you.
Well, dear, I thought that would be rather romantic.
Romantic, huh? The two of us all hooked together with a lot of wires and batteries and...
Yes. You know, like Andy said, every time we touched, something electric would pass between us.
Yeah, but I would suggest an imitation.
Gaze upon the most unhappy lover in history. Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah.
Andy, come here, dear. How did it happen?
Look, for Guy's sakes, it's a false nose. I made it out of flour and some water, dear.
Son, they'll never guess who you are in 100 years.
Well, thank you, Dad. Thanks anyway.
You're the most realistic anteater I've ever seen.
I am not an anteater. Cyrano happened to have a very long nose.
If that thing had legs, you could go as the Siamese twins.
Well, never mind. It's strictly authentic. I tell you, Dad, I copied my entire costume from pictures I happened to find in a library book.
Well, I think you look wonderful, dear.
Thank you, Mother.
So romantic in those tights and that ruffled collar.
Well, I just hope I am romantic. This is the night I find out if I still got my old magnetism. Are you sure nobody will recognize me?
Not a soul.
It's very important that because... Oh,
What did you say?
You better catch it.
yes,
It's
I know.
slipping.
Yes, I got it. I just used too much water and not enough flour. I got to go out in the kitchen and whip up another nose.
Well, Andrew, this is quite a masquerade. By the way, how's your plan working out?
Dad, not so loud. Nobody dozed me. Look over there. See that Juliet over there, huh? That little Juliet?
Yeah, I see her.
Yeah, that's Beezy's girl, Hilda. I'll ask Hilda to dance with me and start on her first. Of course, it won't prove much because she goes for a character like Beezy.
Well, then what point do you hope to prove?
I gotta take it easy at first. I'd start from the beginning just like I did when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
Get the feeble-minded one first and then work my way up.
Good luck, Cyrano.
Thank you. That was a beautiful waltz, Fair Juliet. What has your Romeo got that I, Cyrano, have not? Look there, babe. See that mood yonder? Smell the fragrance of the night air? Here on this romantic balcony? Doesn't it make your blood run faster? Yeah, I can tell you're overcome by the magic of the night. The heavy intoxication of love has you speechless. Yeah, that must be it. Move closer to me, Fair Juliet. Let me put my arm around you. Don't resist. This is fate. It had to happen. The night. The meeting of our two hearts.
If you try to kiss me, I'll scream.
You powderhead. What are you doing in Hilda's Juliet outfit?
Well, the costume company ran out of Romeo, so they sent us two Juliets.
You please just keep your mouth shut and don't tell anybody who I am, and I won't tell them who you are.
Oh, you can count on me, Andy. I won't breathe a word.
All right.
But, Andy,
Yeah.
can I have every other waltz with you?
Oh, Andy, isn't it a lovely masquerade?
Yeah, don't call me Andy, though. It's terrible, Mom.
Oh, dear, what's the matter?
I came to see if I could still send the girls, and so far I've tangled with Beezy, a scrub woman, and that old maid, Miss Evans, and two married women who thought I was their husband.
And weren't any of them fascinated by you?
The only one who almost gave me a tumble was Beezy.
Well, there must be some attractive unmarried young girls here. Andy, have you tried that Spanish senorita over there?
Where? Huh? Say, that is sensation. Okay, I'll give it another whirl. Ah, senorita, you tango divinely.
Oh, gracias, senor.
Look, senorita, la moon.
Oh, see, it is beautiful, no?
See. And drink in the fragrance of the beautiful night air.
Oh, it is very romantic, I think. See?
See?
The spell of the night. Oh, it makes the blood run fast in the veins. See?
Mucho see.
And you, senora, perhaps overcome by, how you say, intoxication of love. See?
See.
I put my arm around you. So,
Yes.
our faces is close together.
See.
We no resist. See?
See. I mean, no.
Oh, senor, it is fate, no?
No. I mean, see.
Our two hearts meet smash. See?
Wow. I've got it back. I still got it.
What, senor?
I haven't lost it. This is better than I've ever knocked them. Oh, I'm sorry, senor. Sorry. As you were seeing?
Oh, no, please tell me. What is it you have not lost?
Just keep going. You'll find out. Dad, let me tell you, what a night for scientific experiments.
Oh, I take it you've been highly successful with the ladies.
I just murdered one, Dad, stunned her stiff.
Andy, you mean that cute little senorita you danced with?
Exactly, that's the chick. Completely swept her off her feet. She threw herself at my feet. It was just, it was pitiful.
Yes, dear, for you, I'm afraid.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, dear, Mrs. Kennedy just told me that little senorita is Polly Benedict.
Hard-boiled owl.
This is the funniest thing I've heard in years.
What? Dad, it's tragic. I've been a big jerk. Polly must have known all along it was me. She's probably laughing herself sick at me right now.
Well, I don't blame her. It's very funny.
It's terribly funny. What's funny about it, Tim?
Well, Andrew, he exerted every ounce of charm in his command, and he wound up with the same old girl.
I gotta get back to Polly. Get her out there on that balcony again. That's
What for? She only fell for your charm because she knew it was you.
Yeah, and if I want to stay healthy, I've got to let her know I knew it was her, too. I'll see you later.
Oh, senor, I'm so happy you bring me out to see the moon again.
Let's start smashing our house again, see?
You have a strong fascination for me.
Bueno.
I know you are going to kiss me. I cannot resist.
Pucker up, my little tamale.
How you like, senor.
Mucho.
Senor, I think I'd like to tell you something.
No, let me tell you something first. Let's drop the act. Cut out the accent. Forget the masquerade. You don't think you fooled me for 1 minute, do you?
I didn't.
Certainly not. Would I romance any other girl in the world? Tell me, would I, I knew all along who you were.
You did?
Sure.
Well, golly, I was hoping you did. I'll have to admit I knew all along who you were, too.
There's another girl in the world who could smash my heart like you, Polly.
Oh, you're sweet. And you always did send me in a swoon, too.
Really?
Yes, Harold.
And now, here again is the Hardy family.
Andy, you've been sitting around the house brooding all day. What's the matter, dear?
I've got a terrific psychological problem, Mom.
Oh.
Well, I thought your problems were all solved when you discovered you still had your old magnetism.
Dad, look, I made love to a girl. She fell for me. Then I find out it's a girl who's already nuts about me, and I don't know if she fell for me or somebody else, which she thought I was when I thought she was somebody else who... Holy cats, I'm dead.
Well, I think it's wonderful. If Polly didn't know who you were, it means you were so attractive she fell for somebody else and would... Oh, you are dead, dear.
Yeah, I've romanced Polly away from myself.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much, son. As long as you're so irresistible, there must be millions of women at your disposal.
I don't know, Dad. Where romance is concerned, there's one big thing I've got to worry about.
Oh, what's that?
Me. I'm just too much competition for myself, Dad.
Mickey Rooney and Fay Holden is based on characters created by Orania Ruberall. This program was written by Jameson Brewer. Direction is by Joe Bigelow. Original music was composed and conducted by Jerry Fielding. Supporting cast included Eleanor Cannon, Gil Stratton Jr., and Lee Brooks. Herb Allen speaking.
That was the Hardy Family from 1949. And now, the Archies.
Archie's gonna be there, Jughead's gonna be there, Reggie's gonna be there too. Eddie's gonna be there, Veronica will be there, you and me will be there too. Hey, Archie's parties are out of sight.
In this episode of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, they mention Elsa Maxwell. She was a columnist who was famous for entertaining with high society parties. She was the quintessential hostess. So here is Archie from October 30th, 1948.
What do you want?
Come on out right away, Jughead. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, here he is again, the youngster millions of readers of Archie Comics magazine know and love so well. Brought to you by Swift & Company, makers of Swift Brookfield sausage, Archie Andrews and all his gang.
Now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's early evening as we look in on the Andrews home, and we find Mrs. Andrews sitting in the living room sewing.
When day is done and shadows fall, I feel...
Mom!
Here I am, dear.
Oh, hiya, Mom.
Hello, dear.
But there's something I want to ask you, Mom.
Archie.
It's very important, very important, so please say yes.
Archie. Huh? Archie Andrews, how many times have I asked you not to slam the door when you come into the house and not to shout at the top of your lungs?
Well, gee, I'm sorry, Mom, but I got to ask you something.
All right. Now, just what is it that's so important?
Well, I just want to ask you... Gee whiz, Mom, where's Dad?
Well, he isn't home yet, dear. He's going to say he was detained at the office, but he'll be home any minute.
Oh, well, what I was going to ask, Mom, is can we have a party here tonight?
Of course you can. What?
A party, a Halloween party.
Tonight?
Uh-huh. We were all set to have one at Veronica's house, but when Mr. Lodge heard about it tonight, he said nothing doing. Oh. And if I can have the party here, it would really make a good impression on Veronica.
But, Archie, I don't know what to say on such short notice.
Well, you don't have to prepare anything, Mom. The girls have all the candy and the cake and stuff at Veronica's now, and if you say yes, they'll bring everything right over here, and we'll clean up afterwards and be very careful, please, Mom?
Well, if you put it that way, Archie, I don't see how I could say no.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. I knew you'd say yes. Thanks a million, Mom. Thanks. Oh, you're such a...
Archie, all right. You're quite welcome, dear. But if you're having company tonight, I'd better go change my dress. I'm sure you want your mother looking presentable.
Oh, sure, Mom. And as soon as I call the kids and tell them everything's okay, I'll get dressed, too. Boy, oh, boy, we can have a Halloween party here. Hats off.
Mary, I'm home. Mary. That's funny. I wonder where she is. Oh, well, must be around the house someplace. Oh, boy, it sure feels good to be home. What a day. What a day. Oh, I don't know when this armchair looked so comfortable or felt so comfortable. Oh, it's good to be home. Yes, sir. Let me just take my tie off. Open my collar. Oh, there, that's better. Now I'll get these shoes off. There. Oh, now to sit back and relax. Yes, sir, it certainly feels good to be... Jughead.
What'd you expect, Elsa Maxwell?
No, Jughead, I did not expect Elsa Maxwell. And since when do you come barging in here without ringing the bell?
Oh, I could just call me too. We got a lot of things to do.
Got a lot of things. What kind of things?
Oh, no time to explain now, Mr. Andrews.
Hey, Archie! I'm here!
He is here. Oh, what the dickens is all this about anyway?
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Betty.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I just dropped in to see how things. Well, what am I doing? Betty, dear, if you don't mind, I live here.
Oh. Well, I better take these packages out into the kitchen.
Yeah, but Betty, wait, what are those packages?
Can't explain now, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, great. First, Jughead comes marching in here without ringing the bell. Then Betty.
Oh,
hi.
Oh, you're Mr. Andrews.
Yes, I'm Mr. Mr. Andrews, but who are you?
I'm Agatha Gush. And this is Prunella Jenkins, and Sis Henderson, and Bootsy Mitchell.
I'm glad to know you, girls.
Oh, girls, isn't he cute?
Look, Agatha,
He'd be positively adorable if he only had hair.
What do you mean, if only I had hair? Yeah, but wait a minute. What the devil's going on around here? Oh, great. Now, how do you like that? I spend a hard day at the office. I come home exhausted, and all of a sudden, my house is turned into Grand Central Station.
Come on, you better get things arranged. Gee whiz, Dad, what are you doing here?
Why does everybody keep asking me that?
Golly, Dad, I only meant I didn't know you were home.
Archie, look, I am home, and I'm beginning to wish I wasn't. Now, if it's not asking too much, would you mind telling me what's going on around here?
Well, sure, Dad. We're having a Halloween party.
Oh, all right. For a minute, Halloween party.
We're going to dance.
And play kissing games.
And sing songs.
And play kissing games.
Listen to the record.
And play kissing games.
All right, Jughead. How many girls do you think you could kiss in one night? Oh, great. Oh, brother, that's all. Archie, look,
what are you doing here?
That's all. Look, Mary, it so happens I live here. I pay the bills around here. I own the house here. That's what I'm doing here.
Ted, don't be silly. I mean, what are you doing standing here in your stocking feet? Don't you know the children are having a Halloween party?
Mary, I have news for you. The children are not having a Halloween party.
Huh? Gee whiz. Ted, what do you mean?
Just what I said. I am tired. I have a slight headache. Nobody consulted me about this. And what's more, they could just go have their own party at somebody else's house.
Oh, but Fred, you can't do that,
Mary. I haven't the slightest intention of spending the rest of the night out in the kitchen so a bunch of young jitterbugs can wreck the living room. This is definite and final. No party.
Oh, but Fred,
Mark was an old sourpuss not to let us have the party there. The Andrews are awfully nice to let us have the party here.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Did we interrupt something?
Not a thing, Betty, not a thing. I was just telling Archie I hoped his Halloween party would be a big success.
Huh?
Well, Mary, don't just stand there. Let's go out in the kitchen. Come on.
Well, Chuck, I guess everything's just about all set, and the rest of the kids should be here any minute.
Yeah.
And I want you to help me.
Yeah.
Help you?
Help you what?
Help me be host. Help me see that everyone has a nice time.
Who's going to see that I have a nice time?
Judge, you'll have a nice time being assistant host.
Well, I want to talk to Agatha. She's supposed to be my date. After all, I even gave her a massage.
Yes, I mean, massage. Jughead, you mean a corsage.
A what?
A corsage.
Oh, she doesn't wear one of those. She's too thin.
Jughead, not a corset, a corsage. Flowers. You gave Agatha some flowers.
Yeah. And that mistletoe isn't cheap either.
Yes, mistletoe. Jughead, you gave Agatha a corsage of mistletoe?
Sure. I'm no fool.
Oh, fine. Listen, Jug. Agatha will just have to wait till everyone gets here and we...
Hello, Archie.
Oh, fine.
Hi, y'all, Archie Cannon. It's awful nice to see y'all, Archie.
Hello, Veronica. Gee, I see somebody gave you a massage, too.
What? He means a corsage. And, Jug, I sent that to Veronica, so be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gee, Veronica, you sure look pretty tonight.
Oh, dear.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm here. Oh, fine. Reggie Mantle.
Hi, y'all, Reggie.
Well, if I believe what everyone tells me, I'm just wonderful.
Oh, great. Reggie, are you seriously in love with yourself, or is it just a passing fancy?
Now, Archie, remember, you're the host. Oh, Reggie, isn't that a new suit you're wearing?
Yes, Veronica. Do you like it?
Oh, yes, Reggie, it's lovely.
Oh, you just say that because I'm wearing it. Oh, fine. Reggie, look, I'm glad to see you at our party. Come in and make yourself at home.
All right, Archie, don't mind if I do.
Fine. And now, Veronica,
I must say, Veronica, you're looking lovelier than ever.
Huh?
Oh, do you really think so, Reggie?
Veronica, of course I do, my dear. In fact, I'd say you're prettier than all the other girls who run after me.
Oh, Reggie, how sweet.
Veronica, let's go sit down in the living room, Veronica, where we can have a nice long talk.
Oh, all right, Reggie, I'd love to.
But, Veronica, wait, I want to talk to you. I just... Now, how do you like that, Jug? I'm talking to Veronica, and that self-centered baboon comes in here and steals my girl right from under my nose. Now, Archie, remember, a host is friendly, and a host is polite, and a host is cheerful. Yes, Jughead, and I'm beginning to think a host is also a darn fool.
So, Mary...
Yes, dear.
Mary, you know, I never realized before how uncomfortable these kitchen chairs are. How late do you think those kids are liable to stay?
Oh, I've no idea. But, Fred, if you're getting restless, let's go to a movie.
Oh, Mary, I'm too tired to go to a movie.
Then go upstairs and go to sleep.
But who can sleep with the noise those kids are making? Besides, maybe we should be out there.
Out there?
You know, after all, as Archie's parents, isn't it sort of our duty to make the kids feel at home and see that they have a good time?
Well, I suppose we should. But then again, youngsters don't like to have old folks around at their parties. It makes them feel awkward and self-conscious.
Mary, don't be silly. Nobody's going to be awkward because I'm there. As a matter of fact, those kids are probably having a terribly dull time right now. Well, I'll go out there and show them how to pep up the party. Come on.
Well, all right, dear, if you think we should.
Of course we should. You'll see, Fred Andrews is always the life of the party. We'll show them how to enjoy a party.
Yes, dear. But they seem to be having a nice time right now.
Well, yes, in a way, but... there's Betty. Hello there, Betty.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Dent.
Well,
Dent.
how's it going?
You want some more fun?
But, Betty, I wanted to...
Fred, she's gone.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? Oh, there's Veronica. Hello, Veronica.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Dent.
Hello, Veronica. How's things going? Well, she seems to be pretty busy, too. Here's that Agatha girl. Oh, hello, Agatha.
Oh, Mr. Andrews, isn't he cute? You killed me.
Cute? Fred, what does she mean, cute?
Mary, I have no idea what she means by cute. But every time she sees me, she just goes into hysterics.
Agatha always giggles. But Fred, I thought we were going to join the party. We can't just stand here all evening.
Yeah, well, you're right. We can't just stand here, but neither can we join the party.
What?
Oh, Mary, I'm afraid there's only one place for old fogies like us. Back to the kitchen. Come on.
Jug, have you seen Veronica? Oh, never mind. There she is. Veronica?
Oh, hello, Archie. Oh, my goodness, this is a wonderful party.
Gee, I'm glad you like it. But listen, Veronica, I haven't seen you all evening. I want to talk to you.
Well, Archie, of course you can talk to me. What did you want to say?
Well, it's awful noisy in here, Veronica. Let's go out on the porch.
All right, Archie. I could use a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, me too. Oh, just look at that harvest moon.
Yes. Oh, it's lovely, Archie. Simply lovely.
Yeah. Sit down, Veronica, and we can watch the moon for a while.
All right. But it's a little chilly out here, isn't it?
Oh, don't worry about that, Veronica. I'll put my arm around you. There. That'll keep you warm.
Oh, Archie. How sweet.
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. But, Veronica.
Yes, Archie?
Now that we're alone, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, Archie?
Well, would you mind if... Well, that is, may I... What I mean to say is, could I... Would you...
What are you asking out here for, Agatha?
Oh, fine. Jug and Agatha.
My goodness.
You'll find
Archie, quick, Veronica. Come on over here so they won't see us. Oh, if that Agatha sees us, she'll start talking and they'll never go back inside.
All right, Archie, but I hope they don't stay out here too long. I'm getting chilly.
Oh, they won't quite. Here they come.
Gee whiz, it's cold out here, Agatha. Oh, it is not, Jughead. It's refreshing. Now, let's sit down for a while.
Okay. But I sure wish I knew why you wanted to sit out here with all that cake and candy back in the house.
Jughead, don't you really know?
No?
Well, I'll show you. Put your arms around me. Go ahead.
Like this?
Uh-huh. Hold me tighter.
Okay.
Tighter.
Okay.
Tighter.
Okay.
Not so tight. Oh.
Gee, Pat. I'm sorry. Guess I don't know my own strength.
Oh, I guess not. Now, turn your face to mine.
Okay.
Now, look me in the eye.
Which one?
Either one. Now, hold me close.
Okay.
Now, what do you say?
I know.
What?
Want some bubble gum?
Oh, for goodness sake. Jughead, you're as romantic as a dish of popcorn. And personally, I'll take the popcorn.
But Agatha, what did I say? Well, they're gone.
Yes, I thought they'd never go in.
Me too. Now, Veronica, where were we?
Well, you were about to ask me something.
Oh, yeah. Well, Veronica, as I was about to say, would you mind if...
Are you out there?
No, fine. Yes, Betty, I'm out here.
Oh, hello, Veronica. Hi. Archie, the kids want to roll back the rugs and move the furniture so we can dance.
Well, you'll have to wait a while, Betty. I'm trying to talk to Veronica.
But, Archie, it's not polite to keep your guests waiting.
But, Betty, I
want
want to...
The party will get dull if we don't start dancing. And you should keep it going. You're the host.
Okay, so I'm the host. But, Betty, the next time I throw a party, remind me not to.
Mary, I think those youngsters were absolutely rude to ignore us the way they did.
Oh, Fred, they were just having a party. You didn't expect them to stop everything just to talk to us, did you?
Well, when I was a boy, we showed respect for our parents, party or no party.
Well, times have changed, dear. So just read your newspaper until the youngsters get tired and go home.
All right, dear, all right. At least it's quiet out here anyway. Let's see where's Oh, fine.
What about you, Reggie?
Well, I'm really thirsty.
Oh, hello, Reggie.
Oh, hiya, Miss Anders. Jug, get some ice cubes. I like my water cold.
Okay.
Wow! Look what we have here in the icebox. Cold chicken.
Oh, boy, that looks good. Hey, did you hear that?
Yes, dear, I heard.
Tastes good.
Hey, my chicken, that's for lunch tomorrow.
Mary, don't say
Look
anything,
here.
dear. Just
Fresh apple pie.
Oh, boy, that looks good.
Oh, Fred, that's for dinner tomorrow night.
Hey, fellas. What do we got?
They're right in the icebox.
Mary, not
Oh, Fred, welcome.
But Mary, there are no
Icebox, they'll take every last bit of food. Fred, what do we do?
Mary, there's only one thing for us to do. Go down to the playroom in the basement. Come on.
And now back to Archie's Halloween party. When Veronica couldn't have the party at her house, Archie talked Mrs. Andrews into letting him use the Andrews house, namely to make a good impression on Veronica. But so far, he's been so busy being host, he hasn't had a chance to see much of Veronica. And meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Andrews are trying to find a quiet place to stay until the party's over.
Okay, Betty, okay. Now the piano's out of the way, the couch is pushed back, the rug's rolled up, and everything's all set for dancing.
Oh, thank you, Archie. That's fine.
Good.
Come on, everybody. I'm going to play the piano, and everybody dance.
Now that that's settled, maybe I can get a dance with Veronica for all my troubles.
Archie, this dance is mine.
Yes, Agatha, yours. Oh, but Agatha, I want...
just love dancing with you, Archie.
Yes, Agatha, but I want to see if I...
Oh, there's the music. Come on, let's dance.
No, all right, Agatha. Let's dance.
Oh, golly, Archie, isn't this the most wonderful party?
Oh, sure, Agatha, sure. But you know something?
What?
If I didn't live here, I'd go home.
Fred, the way those children just raided that icebox without asking anyone's permission was absolutely rude.
Oh, now, Mary, you just forget it. That's how youngsters are, you know. And there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Now, just be thankful it's quiet down here in the basement. We can sit here peacefully until those kids go home.
Oh, yes, dear, you're right. But they can't leave any too soon for me.
Yes, dear. Now, let's see. What was I reading in this newspaper? Oh, yes, yes. Mary, what's that?
I don't know.
Sounds like an earthquake or the house is falling down.
Fred, I know what it is.
What?
We're directly under the living room. The children must be dancing.
Oh, all right. For a minute, I was dancing. What kind of dancing is that makes that much noise?
Fred, you know how the youngsters jitterbug, jump up and down, and throw each other around.
Yes, but do they have to do that to my house? The whole house is shaking.
Fred, the youngsters are entitled to dance if they want, but you can't stop them from doing that. Just make the best of it to read your paper.
Oh, me. All right, dear, all right. First, we went out into the kitchen. Then we came down to the cellar. You think there'd be one place we could go in our own house where we could just... Ye gods, Mary, what was that?
Oh, dear. A big piece of the ceiling came down.
Ceiling? Mary, come on.
Fred, where can we go now?
There's just one place, Mary, one place. To the living room to put an end to this nonsense. Come on.
Yes, Agatha, it was fine. Now, if you don't mind, I want to ask Veronica for the next dance.
Veronica? But don't you want to dance with me anymore?
Well, yes, Agatha, but I feel that as the host, I should ask Veronica. And here she is now. Veronica?
Yes, Archie?
Can I have the next dance?
Oh, Archie, I just promised it to Reggie.
Reggie? Listen, Veronica, how come all night long you're talking to Reggie, dancing with Reggie, laughing with Reggie?
Well, Archie, you knew Reggie was my date for tonight, didn't you?
Well, sure, Reggie is your date for tonight. You mean I threw this party and you brought... Anything wrong with my being her date? I'll say there is. I can't...
Somebody else play the piano now. I want to dance.
Betty, please, just a minute. Veronica, did you...
Jughead, Archie, can I see you for a minute, please?
Well, just 1 minute, Dad. I want to get something straight here. Veronica, you mean you brought Reggie Mantle as your date to my party?
Archie,
You never asked me to be your date.
Veronica, you
I'm going to dance this next
Betty, let's not...
I'll play the piano.
Agatha, please.
Jughead, don't make a scene.
Mary, I'm not making a scene. I'm trying to... Agatha, please stop playing that piano. Mary, Agatha, Archie. Quiet. Agatha, you be quiet, too. Now, listen to me, all of you. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, dear.
Yes, Dad.
Now, I certainly am the last one to object to youngsters having a Halloween party. But this is going too far. Much too far. You kids come in here like you own the place. You raise the icebox without asking. Shove all the furniture around. Scratch up a perfectly good floor. Break the ceiling in the basement with your jumping and stamping. And who knows what else you've done.
I know.
Chug, be quiet. Now, I hate to be so harsh, but I'm afraid you young jitterbugs have to be taught some manners. And if you have anything to say for yourselves, I want to hear it.
Well, yes, Dad, we do have something to say. But would you excuse me for just a minute? There's something I want to ask the other kids.
You certainly may.
Hey, fellas, come here. Well, look, my dad has some of the feelings down. Yeah, okay with you? Okay, fellas, thanks. Dad.
Well, Archie, go on. Go on.
Well, first, all the fellas want me to apologize for their getting a little wild.
I should think they would. The apology is accepted.
And we hope that this money will make up for the damage we did.
Well, I should hope it. Money? What money?
This money here, Dad. We all just chipped in to pay for the scratched floor and the broken ceiling. Well, I know it isn't very much money, but it's all we had. About $3, I think, in the little change.
Archie.
Yes, Dad?
You mean to say that your friends chipped in that money to pay for the damage you did?
Well, yes, Dad.
Well, Archie, there's only one thing I can say.
Yes, Dad?
If that's the kind of friends you have, I'd be a pretty mean old sourpuss to take that money or to stop the party. Happy Halloween, kids. Come on, Mary, let's dance.
the Andrews. It's many hours later, and the big Halloween party's all over, and everybody, including Mr. and Mrs. Andrews, had a fine time.
Oh, gee, Dad, that was a swell party, wasn't it?
Yes, son, it certainly was.
Yes, you seem to be enjoying yourself, I noticed.
Yeah, meaning what?
Meaning, where did you learn to jitterbug like that?
Oh, Agatha taught me. And you know something? Agatha's cute. Hey,
Fred Andrews, you should be
Listen next Saturday when we bring you more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Bob Sherry wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. So long.